morning and welcome to A Closer Look. I'm your host, Linda Fontaine. Today, my guest is Wes Ramey, the Public Relations Director at Dollywood. Thanks for coming back.
Thank you for having me.
I love it when you come because it's so fun to talk about Dollywood.
Well, that's what, a lot of people say that, and it is. It's a great place to work, and there's always something fun going on, and for me, it was somewhere I grew up going as a kid, and now to be able to go back and share that with my family and all the guests that we have coming, it's a fun place to be.
So last time you were here, we were talking about the Great Pumpkin Illuminati.
Yes.
And now it's Glacier Ridge. Tell us about that.
Well, it's hard to believe how quick time flies. But yeah, at Christmas time, part of the festival this year, the Smoky Mountain Christmas Festival has been going on since 1990. But we wanted to add a little bit to it this year. And with Great Pumpkin Illuminati, we put a lot of infrastructure into the park that allowed us to do some more things in our Timber Canyon area. So now, with Christmas, we've added Glacier Ridge. It adds actually 1 million lights to our total. So we're up to 5 million total Christmas lights throughout the park, which is very hard to fathom what 5 million lights is. And if you've never been, you need to go so you can see it and experience it. But it's a beautiful time of year. Glacier Ridge, as part of that, if you come up the Timber Canyon side of the park, you'll go through the Arctic Passage, which is a 130-foot long lighted tunnel, and it has cracking ice sounds and things like that to make you feel like you're being transported into the Arctic. If you come up the other side, we have lights that dangle kind of down through the trees that mimic the northern lights, and there's a soundtrack there that kind of makes the sounds that you imagine with the Aurora Borealis.
Oh, wow.
And then it all culminates at Wilderness Pass at the plaza, and we have a 50-foot tall animated tree, and it kind of tells a little story every 30 minutes, and that begins at 6 every night. But you can see the park with all the lights. It's just such an experience. It really gets you into the spirit of the season when you walk in and you see all of that. It's amazing what our crews do to make the park look the way it does.
That is beautiful. For those that can't see what we're looking at, it's amazing. There's pictures. You brought along some video of the lights, and it's beautiful, and it's bright, and it's festive.
It is, and you mentioned Great Pumpkin Illuminati, and the crazy thing to think of, we actually start putting the actual Christmas lights up in July. It takes a long time to put up 5 million Christmas lights, but everything else has to take place in about a 6-day period, because everything from Great Pumpkin Illuminati, all of our Harvest Festival decorations have to leave the park, and all of these great Christmas decorations have to come in. And we're closed for about 5 days between the two festivals to make it happen. So our crews are working around the clock, no matter the weather, to get everything transformed over. We had a 40-foot tall pumpkin tree as part of Great Pumpkin Illuminati. That had to leave, and this amazing 50-foot animated Christmas tree had to be put in its place. It had never, it's the first time we've had it, obviously. It had never been put together on our property. It needed to be programmed. All of that stuff had to happen in a 5-day period. So the work that our crews do to make the festival look like it does is pretty impressive.
So I want to know how many people are on your crew or in your crew to make this happen?
It's a great question. Throughout I mentioned we start putting the lights up in July.
Yeah.
For the bulk of that time, there's maybe 5 or 6 people putting up Christmas lights. Then as we get closer, it ramps up and that crew gets larger, and it moves up to 15 and 20 people as we get closer. And then during that week between the festivals, it's everybody is out working as hard as they can to get everything ready.
That's great.
Yeah, it's an impressive effort.
So how many years have you been doing Glacier Ridge?
So Glacier Ridge, brand new this year.
Brand new this
year?
That's what I was wondering.
Smoky Mountain Christmas Festival began in 1990, and this is the biggest addition we have ever made to the festival. And like I said, we had everything in place from Great Pumpkin Illuminati, and we had never really put a lot of decorating effort into that side of the park, so we said, let's do it. And so it's been a great addition, and folks really love it because it really does. We're using a lot of cool color tones, so blues and purples and whites to make you kind of feel like you have transformed and visited the Arctic.
That is so cool. So you must have a neat team that designing this alone, putting it together is one thing, but to come up with the designs is quite an effort.
Exactly. That's not anything that I would have anything to do with. I'm not creative enough. We have a great team of folks that work to think of these ideas year round, and they look years down the road as well to say, these are trends that are happening. This is what we feel like our guests are going to want, 3, 5, 10 years down the road, and they're putting these things into place. And
you're keeping it fresh.
It is. We always want to have something new for our guests,
Yeah.
so we obviously added to Great Pumpkin Luminites this year. We've added Glacier Ridge this year. We're adding Wildwood Grove next season for our guests. So
Oh, really?
a lot of fun things for everyone to come and experience when they come see us.
One thing I really do appreciate about Dollywood is that you guys do, like I just said a few minutes ago, but you do keep it fresh. You
Yes.
guys are always doing something new, exciting, to keep us wanting to come back for more.
Exactly.
So we don't get tired of the same old thing.
You are exactly right. That is one of the main things our guests tell us. They're always, looking for something new family experiences to enjoy together. So this year was our season of showstoppers. So every season we had new entertainment that, we hadn't had before. And
Yes.
back in the spring, we had the spring mix with a lot of great artists. We had Marshall Tucker Band, we had Amy Grant. We had so much great
Love it.
music at the beginning of the year. And then, as I mentioned, we've added to these 2 festivals, and Glacier Ridge kind of caps that off for us this year as we move into 2019 and the addition of Wildwood Grove. We know a lot of folks will be excited about visiting that new area of the park.
Wildwood Grove.
Wildwood Grove. 11 great new attractions will be part of that experience.
Wow.
So it's the first time we've added a new section of the park in about a decade. And folks already, are buying their season passes. The great thing about coming this time of year to the park is if you think you're going to come next year, or if you want to come back and experience Christmas again before the end of the season, which is through January 5th, you can go ahead and upgrade your day pass to a season pass, and it's a 2019 season pass. So you can come back to Christmas as much as you want, and then also come back next year as much as you want to experience Wildwood Grove in the park all season long.
You know what I have to say about all that is Disney World better look out.
Well, we do like to think we offer a very different experience for folks, a very down home and genuine experience for folks when they come see us.
I love it. But it is getting big. I mean,
Yeah.
you do need to make it almost a 2-day experience to get everything done.
You are exactly right. And especially this time of year with all the great Christmas shows, we have 7 shows on all the stages throughout the park. That's a huge part of this festival. Christmas in the Smokies is our highlight show. It is the one that really started the festival in 1990, and it's a tradition for many folks. It has a full orchestra down front. Just a lot of things going on in the park for folks to enjoy this time of year.
So Dollywood Smoky Mountain Christmas.
Yes, ma'am.
Now through January 5th.
Yes,
and you
ma'am.
can get tickets at dollywood.com/tickets.
Yes, and we always like to remind folks to check the website or our app just to check the operating hours that day, because they vary from the week to the weekends, and we're closed a few Mondays. So the best thing to do is just check out the schedule before you come.
Okay, that sounds good. You guys are amazing. But you also have these resorts, and are they all decorated for Christmas? Because if you want to come see all this, like I said, it's going to take a couple days. You'll need a place to stay.
You're exactly right. So Dollywood's Dreammore Resort is completely decorated for Christmas. It's a beautiful place to be this time of year. The buffet changes to kind of offer some things that you think of when it comes to Christmas. We have a lighted tree show out in the pool area, but then also our Smoky Mountain cabins. If you decide you don't want to stay at the resort, you'd like to stay at a cabin, several of those are decorated for Christmas as well. You can call in, and when you make your reservation, tell them, hey, I want to stay in one of the cabins that's decorated for Christmas.
I love it.
Yeah, it's a great way to cap off the experience when you come down and you are spending multiple days to see all the great shows, experience all the great lights at the park, the shows on the parkway, and then have a great place to call home while you're away.
Well, tell me about the dinner shows. You guys have Celebration and Stampede.
Exactly, yes. And they have both switched over to their Christmas shows, and it's really a great time of year to come down and experience them with Stampede has all the great things. That we have a scene where the toys come to life. We have the nativity scene as part of that, but a lot of fun with that show. And then Christmas Celebration is brand new this year with everything going on there. It's a great experience of just acrobatics and a lot of fun things for folks to enjoy there. And that show at the end of this season will close, and we will transform that theater into a Pirate's Voyage, similar to what we have in Myrtle Beach. So that will be another brand new experience for guests to experience when they come to Pigeon Forge. Yeah, another new thing. And Pirate's Voyage will be a great addition. It's a very fun, high energy, very high action show. So that'll be fun for folks when they come down.
And that will be like where Stampede is?
It will be where Christmas Celebration is
Where
right now. So
Celebration is.
Celebration right now. It will transform into Pirates Voyage next year.
I remember going to Stampede, I think twice, maybe 3 times when the kids were little.
Yes.
What a fun experience.
It is.
They like to eat with their hands.
Yes,
see,
well, yeah, it works out
everything's
perfect.
eating with your hands. Well, they normally, I mean, it was just fun because they could, you know. What is it? They got the Cornish hen.
Cornish hen, a side of ham. You've got a corn on the cob. There's a great dessert at the end. My favorite part is the soup and the cheese biscuit that you get at the beginning. So yeah, you can't beat that.
And you just drink the soup out of the bowl like this. And
it's just,
rah, rah, you know,
exactly. It's just fun for everybody. Something
they
different.
felt like cowboys watching Dixie Stampede. It is great. I love that.
It's a great show and just another fun element to add to your experience when you come to Pigeon Forge.
I love it. Glacier Ridge. Wow. Yes. I can't wait to see that 5 million lights.
5 million lights throughout the park. And like I said, you know, they start putting that up in July.
So why even take it down?
Well, what happens is the lights begin to fade if they're out in the sun all the time.
Okay.
So we'll take the lights down and put them back up. And to watch our crews.
I'm just being lazy.
Well, yeah, well, and if you get a chance to go, walk up and actually look at the lights on the building. There's a staple between every single light.
Wow.
They literally twist the lights so that they will rest up against the building in the perfect way. They're all pointing the same direction. They take a lot
uniform.
Yeah, exactly. They take a lot of time and effort. And you know, we've been voted best Christmas event for 11 years. Wow. We're always looking to improve the festival, and Glacier Ridge has certainly taken it to another level.
Wow, I love it when you're here. There's so much to learn, and it gets me so excited. I want to go to Dollywood.
There's a lot to talk about.
Well, we're going to be right back after this message and learn even more about all the great things going on at Dollywood right now.